Hello, it's Galadon, and it's episode 47 of Clash of Clans Attacks. Today we have a bit of a more traditional Clash of Clans Attacks video. We're actually going to focus on some unusual base designs. We will get back to allowing Peter $17 to continue his quest to beat Clash of Clans, and we'll talk about Lost Phoenix's Clan Wars results in a future episode. So we'll talk a little bit about base design and defense today, looking at some unusual base layouts, which seems to be one of the keys to getting a successful defensive win, is not having a base that everybody else has, so that not everyone is familiar with exactly how to approach your base when attacking. However, these bases today are not necessarily effective, they're just different. So we'll get on to the first one here, which is a variant of what I would call a white flag base. A white flag base, by definition, I would call a base that makes it really easy to get that 1 star for destroying 50% of the structures, but makes it very difficult to get to the town hall. Basically, they're giving up 1 star in order to prevent losing 2. So this is a base that I attacked here, and I just thought that I'd go after it to see if I could indeed get to that town hall. And I figured the key would be to clear these surrounding structures far enough that hopefully the king or the queen heads towards the center. Brought my usual hog riders, and they were very effective in grabbing that outer mortar and giving me a clear area to get rid of the king and the queen. I have to admit, it's tough giving up those 20 spaces to 4 hog riders, but I am very addicted to bringing them. They are very flexible in what I can do with them, and I've been pretty effective with them lately. So when I do start the main attack here, I send out golems and wall breakers there at the lower left and the upper left, having some problems with those wall breakers at the top hitting a big bomb. So I'm wasting a few wall breakers here, trying to get through all these enclosures. The clan castle troops come out, and I don't really handle them very well. I let them wipe out quite a few of my wizards first, before eventually I will get them to bunch up, but even then, I've lost a lot of wizards. The skeletons and witches are going to turn around and help out here, and this lightning spell that I eventually drop is not well placed either, because it gets the skeletons, but it doesn't get the skeleton generator. So at this point, I've pretty much used up all of my wall breakers, realized that this is going to be a white flag type attack. I'm just going to be shooting for 50%, not really worried about the town hall, so the king and the queen kind of spread out, focusing on just getting them around, making sure that we get enough structures down to get that first star. Now the queen is kind of lonely up there at the top with all of her archers getting wiped out, but there's a lot of units at the bottom doing pretty good damage. We're into the mid 40s now, and here we take a closer look. We can see just how overpowering the queen can be at level 40. And once she takes out that dark elixir, I realize that she is headed towards the town hall, so I use my last free spell on the X-bow, my last rage spell, to make sure she uses it all the way to the town hall, and sure enough, once she gets through that wall, straight to the town hall, and under rage it only takes 5 shots from her crossbow and 2 stars instead of 1. Now this next base has been popularized by the very skillful and popular Chief Pat. Definitely props to him for getting his defenseless account all the way to champion, and that's exactly what we're looking at here from American Pride, Felipe FFF, and his also defenseless champion. And D Reverend with an effective example of why being defenseless champion can be so painful, and that is because you have to rely completely on your offense, because once every 16 hours somebody is going to come and eradicate all of your structures. And I was thinking, since Chief Pat showed so effectively how you can get to be a defenseless champion, maybe Peter $17 could show us how to become a brainless champion.
Oh, funny, Galadon.
Anyway, let's go ahead and move on to the next replay here. This was shared in clan chat by our own North Coast of Lost Phoenix. He had temporarily set his base up in what is most clearly a white flag setup. He's even got his Infernos in the middle, his king and his queen, and one of his X-bows. And is a pretty clever setup here. Actually, I would call this one of the most effective white flag bases I've seen, because even if you were able to clear down one side to the left and the right, getting down to the center of the town hall and beating what's left in the middle could be extremely difficult. And our attacker here has brought a go wipe troop setup and went ahead and dumped them all in this one spot here, broke the wall, and sent pretty much everybody in the hole there. He'll eventually lightning the clan castle troops, but you'll see that the behavior of his attacking units is pretty much as to be expected. They're just going to work their way counterclockwise around North Coast's base. And right about here you see a whole bunch of wall breakers come in, and they will successfully blast open the inner wall, but the troops aren't going to use it because they're still headed for the next closest structure or the next closest defensive structure, and they're going to be led in a merry-go-round ride around the outside.
You're rhyming again, Galadon.
So the base has the desired effect, and North Coast's town hall is left untouched. As this attack comes to a close, they get almost around 3 complete sides of the base, but eventually, as the queen does start to head through that wall there's no time left. Alright, and next we're going to look at an extreme version of a southern teaser, or what you might also call, look mom, no walls. Now this base definitely screams attack me from the south, probably why our fellow Lost Phoenix member North Coast decided to throw caution to the wind and come from the north. Now I really like the way he starts this attack because he's very patient. You notice he doesn't really face a lot of defensive structures here, so he just very patiently uses his wall breakers to get through those first outer 2 walls before he deploys any other troops. And now that golem is going to head, even though there's not a defensive structure anywhere near him, just because the way the base is set up, the golem's AI is going to send him trying to get to that crossbow. And now with the crossbow successfully distracted, the wall breakers move in and destroy a whole bunch of walls here, getting very close to that town hall enclosure. So now as he sends the rest of his troops in, there's not going to be a lot of surrounding structures left to get rid of before they're in and after the town hall. And you'll notice that all of the serious splash damage, most of the mortars, and all of the wizard towers are south of the town hall. And eventually that town hall wall gets breached, the golems lead the way, and now they're just moving in through that rage spell. We've got skeletons, wizards, witches, the heroes, the golems, dogs and cats living together, destroying everything. The town hall goes down, and as we speed up the rest of the attack, they just wipe out every single structure that's standing until the village is completely razed to the ground. And our time has run out already. That's going to wrap up episode 48, but stay tuned for episode 49 soon. We should be talking about the conclusion of an upcoming epic clan war with Detroit Death. This time, it's personal. And I just wanted to give a quick thank you to White Lightning HWD and Chief Pat and Daddy. All of you guys have mentioned me recently, and I really appreciate it. Little channels like me look up to the big guys like you. Question 2 of 3. In episode 41, I used a quote from a very well-known 80s movie. Which movie was it? Save your answer until you have all 3. Next episode.